Hey guys, Rob here, and I'm back here on The Voice, and I got to speak with a few of the top 11 contestants and ask them my number one topic question for today, which was songwriting. Check it out. Hope you guys enjoy. How do you really restructure every song that gets handed to you in order to make it your own when you perform it?
I think it's a feeling, and I think it's just something that I've always had, from the very beginning of my musical career and even my life. I've always heard songs and thought, well, like, what if it was this way? Or, and a lot of us here have that talent. Evan has that, Amy has that, obviously, so it's something that is not necessarily rare, but it's really just about if you can be consistent with it, and I feel like on the show I've been lucky enough to sing songs that are beautiful already, and so I haven't really gotten to change a song, flipped it, which is something that I do a lot in my regular before The Voice life. But now they've been giving me such beautiful songs, and the Jack White song, the U2 song is so beautiful. I didn't want to stray too much from the original. I just wanted to make it more emotional, and I think that's what happened, and I think that's kind of always what happens. And that's the fun of being on Pharrell's team, is if you're taking it in the wrong direction, he'll be like, yeah. So that's why he's so great.
So if you were to actually restructure the songs like you mentioned, do you have an actual formula to restructure?
Well, it varies from song to song. I think a formula is kind of hard. I know there are certain chords that I like and certain, like variations of chords that I like and orders of chords, but there's nothing really set in stone, because then it wouldn't be fun. Right. The mystery of it all is kind of what makes it exciting and what makes it, what allows you to surprise yourself every time.
How do you really reconstruct a song once it's handed to you in order to make it your own when you go perform it on stage?
I think the first thing is learning the song how it is and how the artist sang it and recorded it, because you got to give them that respect. So when it comes to the melody and stuff, just try and really lay that down pat and make that good, and then as you get comfortable with the song, to really just see where you take in what happens naturally when changing notes or making certain moments bigger than the others. And when it comes to the band, like this week, I really didn't do much with the band as far as changing things up, but just how I think of it. And how, Thompson Square, when they recorded the song, they had a totally different story in their mind than how I took the song. And so I think that was the biggest thing for me is, learning that melody and learning the song, but then really focusing on the story that you're trying to tell, because you have to get the audience to connect with you, and you just have to figure out how that's going to happen.
What I wanted to do this week was I wanted to show that I'm a writer, that I'm a creator. I don't just sing and dance on stage. I work in the studio and I write at home. And that, like, the performance I did tonight is very indicative of what my performances at home are like. When I'm performing and putting together my own performance, I usually grab a stool and my acoustic. Unless I have my band with me, then we'll go big. But if it's just me, I'm just gonna sit with my acoustic and do stuff like that for a couple hours. I like to keep it intimate, and I like to make different arrangements on songs. I put most of the arrangement together for this week. It's very different than the Michael Jackson or the Nat King Cole version. So I really wanted to show that I have an identity, besides just other people's songs. And I felt like that's what I did.
And with the songwriting, how you mentioned you start with the guitar, does every song that you work on really start basic as an acoustic guitar? Or do you ever come in with a piano, or you have some kind of melody in mind?
Great question. I actually usually start with just a melody in my head, and then I go to whatever instrument or whatever setup is going to help capture that the best. So I have like a bass. If I have a thing in my head that's like a backbeat and a bass groove, I go to Logic. I go to my Mac and get out my recording stuff and get out my piano and start like putting it together that way. It's rare that I hear a melody and go straight to my guitar, but every time I pick up my guitar, I get a melody. Okay. So like I pick up my guitar when I'm stuck in a rut, because I always know I'm gonna find something new that I like. Right. But when I am just like humming and make up something new, I usually go to my producing equipment.
For someone who really knows what kind of like path that they want to go on, when you sing something, you automatically make it your own. And I think that's all of our goals, since we are singing covers, just to make sure that we put our stamp on it, And so it was awesome this week because I was able to do such an incredible like classic country song by the Judds, and me and Blake put a little bluegrass spin on it, which was so much fun, and it was right up my alley. So that was really awesome this week.
Very cool. Now you are doing covers on this show, but do you have any own music that you've written? Maybe something that you've been working on while you've been on the show?
Yeah, definitely. Songwriting is a super huge like deal to me. I'm very hard on myself though. I've been listening to such incredible music, and I've been listening to that old classic country and like bluegrass, like storytelling music. So I'm only 17 and I haven't lived enough life to write the type of songs that I want to write one day, but yes, I definitely try my best, and that's something that I want to do because I think that I have things to say too that I want people to hear.
First and foremost, I think I'm a singer, and I know that that's what I'm meant to do, and that's a huge part of me is to sing. But my second thing is that I'm an arranger, and I love to arrange music, and I love to listen to things that other people have created and written and find ways to make them my own. And so this has been a really fun process for me, to kind of put my own spin onto songs and to arrange them kind of in my own way. But it's also been a really big challenge too. You want to keep the integrity of the song and what makes the song so wonderful as it is, but you also want to add your own spin to it. So I think that there's a really delicate balance between those two things.
And with any of the songs, which one was the most difficult to really restructure? Because maybe you kind of lost the feel of the song at one point, or you had to like rebuild it multiple times before it was, all right, this is it. This is what I want to perform.
Yeah, I think Halo was kind of the biggest difference from the original that I've performed so far. And I really wanted to focus on the lyrics of that song. I think that those are extremely important, and for Beyonce, who has this huge like powerhouse voice, it's her song, like she can sing that song in the way that she sang it and really have the punch that it needs to have. But for me, I knew that singing it just like she did would almost feel like kind of like karaoke, and so I wanted to strip it back and really focus on those words. And I think that was the biggest challenge for me yet, because I wanted to, like I said, keep it this song that everyone knows and recognizes and loves, and really has this message that everyone knows about. But also I wanted to do it in my way and show people a different side of that message and a different side of those lyrics than what they've seen before.
Thanks again for watching my coverage for tonight's On The Voice, and special thanks to Your Gray for this amazing watch that they just sent me to wear on the red carpet of The Voice. Be sure to check out more interviews here on Front Row Live ENT. Thanks for watching.